I moved to the quiet village of Willowbrook Vale, seeking peace, not drama. My husband, Daniel, a decorated Navy SEAL, died in Syria, leaving me a cottage that carried a weight of honor and grief. The home, once his gray tants, was gifted to me by the Crown after his posthumous knighthood. A letter from Buckingham Palace, sealed with the royal crest, declared the house mine forever, free from local taxes or rules. A gold plaque by the front door immortalized Daniel's sacrifice. For 2 years, the village respected my solitude, except for kind Mrs. Evelyn next door, who dropped off jam and biscuits on holidays. Then Margaret Voss arrived from Chicago, insisting everyone call her Chairwoman Voss. Within weeks, she formed the Willowbrook Vale Heritage Council, a fancy name for an HOA. She handed out flyers, held meetings, and issued fines for overgrown hedges or faded flags. Most villagers grumbled but complied. I stayed out of it, trusting my royal deed kept me untouchable. That changed when Margaret slipped a letter under my door, claiming my antique mailbox didn't fit the village's colonial revival aesthetic. I had 14 days to replace it or face fines. I chuckled, thinking it was a mistake. Surely she didn't know about my deed. So, I left a polite note on her doorstep with a copy of the royal document, signed with a friendly, "Let's chat over coffee, Clara." No reply. A week later, another letter arrived, citing my weathered shutters, fixed by Daniel himself, wild daisies in my garden, and the unauthorized plaque. I confronted her at one of her standards brunches at the community center. Mid-rant about someone's tacky lawn gnome, I raised my hand. "Chairwoman Voss, your notices don't apply to my property due to its royal exemption." Her eyes narrowed. "Ms. Harper, that rusty mailbox and your so-called plaque violate our covenant. We don't play favorites here." I steadied my voice. "The council has no power over Crown property." She smirked and turned away, dismissing me like a child. The letters kept coming. One demanded I remove the plaque or pay $700 for defacing heritage. Another claimed the HOA was reviewing my ownership. I checked my deed with a lawyer and the defense ministry. Rock solid. But Margaret didn't stop. A drone buzzed over my garden, startling my cat, Whiskers. I caught her outside with a tablet, smirking. I snapped a photo and reported her to the police for harassment. Then my water pressure vanished. A plumber found a valve tampered with. A final warning letter, signed by Voss, land compliance officer, accused me of squatting and gave me 21 days to vacate. That night, a "for sale" sign appeared in my hedge. I'd had enough. I called a journalist friend, Sarah Miles, from a veterans event. She visited, photographed the deed, the letters, and the sign, and published a BBC article. "War Widow Targeted by HOA Over Queen Gifted Home." It went viral. Support poured in from veterans, kids, and even a judge. The palace emailed, offering legal aid and a liaison to ensure my peace. But Margaret went rogue. Someone tried to rip the plaque off my wall, leaving a red-heeled boot print, her signature shoes. The police opened an investigation. Then Sarah called with a bombshell. Margaret Voss was Ingrid Decker, a Dutch fraudster wanted by Interpol for running fake HOAs and scamming seniors out of $250,000. She'd fled Rotterdam and reinvented herself here. Police arrested her. Fingerprints matched an old visa. Watching her being led away, I sipped tea, feeling a flicker of victory. The HOA dissolved, and neighbors brought cookies and apologies. Evelyn helped repay my wall. The palace sent a note praising my resilience. I kept my creaky mailbox, etched with Daniel's initials. I thought it was over. My garden bloomed, Whiskers napped in the sun, and I started a writing group. But peace is fragile. Months later, an envelope with no return address arrived. Inside, a note read, "This isn't done," with a dust photo of my house. Chills ran through me. I called Inspector Reed, who found fresh boot prints by my greenhouse. "Ingrid's awaiting extradition, but she might have allies," he warned. I locked my doors and stopped evening walks. Then came dirt dumped on my driveway, overturned bins, and dead roses with a card. Community first, privilege second. I fled to London to stay with a friend, Rachel, a former SEAL colleague. She connected me with a veterans network, and Tom Bradley, a retired MI6 officer, stepped in. He installed cameras, motion sensors, and a car tracker. Days later, footage caught a masked figure eyeing my plaque at 3:41 a.m. Tom identified him as Klaus Werner, a German developer tied to Ingrid's scams. Klaus sent fake letters to the council, claiming my deed was forged. He filed a lawsuit in a German court, arguing the crown's gift violated EU law. My lawyer unraveled it, but the stress gnawed at me. Neighbors noticed my weight loss. Evelyn walked whiskers for me. Then, the worst blow, someone stole the Queen's letter from my fireplace. I found only a torn crest in an envelope. I wept, clutching Daniel's memory. The BBC's Panorama aired a special on rogue HOAs, featuring my story. Tips flooded in. Klaus was spotted in Prague. Ingrid used aliases in Norway. A whistleblower from Klaus's firm revealed dozens of fake HOAs funneling fines into shell accounts. I wasn't random. They targeted me because they thought no one would believe a widow. But the Queen did, and now the world did. Interpol issued warrants for Klaus and his crew. The palace reaffirmed royal gifts. A call came from Lady Beatrice, the Queen's aide. She invited me to London, poured tea, and said, "You've shown dignity under fire. We'll make it permanent." She offered a security package and named me custodian of the Willowbrook Royal Haven, placing my home under crown protection. A new sign, blue and iron, declared it. No more threats came. But Ingrid wasn't done. A year later, another envelope arrived, her cursive unmistakable. Some debts outlive borders. A photo of me at a memorial, red X over my head. Inspector Reed confirmed she'd escaped custody in Belgium, faking an illness. Strange faces appeared in Willowbrook. A man lingering by the bakery, a woman probing about land rules, a van parked at dusk. Tom upgraded my cameras. During the village fair, I found my side door ajar. In my bedroom, clothes were strewn, and a navy button, not mine but Daniel's kind, sat on my pillow. Fury replaced fear. At 2 a.m., cameras caught a figure with a crowbar. I grabbed Daniel's old service pistol, cracked the door, and shouted, "You're on Crown land." "I'm armed." They fled. Tom and backup caught one, Peter Lang, Klaus's lackey. He confessed that Ingrid was hiding in France, targeting me as her unbreakable foe. Interpol tracked her. She crashed a car fleeing to Luxembourg, was arrested, and faced 11 charges in the Netherlands. I testified remotely, watching her blank stare as I recounted her lies, the button, the break-in. She got 15 years, banned from housing groups forever. The courtroom cheered. I cried for Daniel's victory. King Charles summoned me. He took my hand. "You stood for strength." He gave me the King's Valor Medal. Willowbrook welcomed me home with flags and a band. A new plaque read, "She stood so others wouldn't fall." I sit by my lavender now, whiskers purring, Daniel's laugh in my heart. Ingrid tried to erase me, but built my legacy instead. My home is safe. My story is law. What do you think? Was I right to arm myself? Or should I have waited? How do you handle injustice when it's personal? Share your thoughts below. Let's debate violence, fairness, and standing your ground.